In the previous episode, we tested some really nice ratchets. Today we'll be testing 6 different brands, the most expensive one costing over $480. Is that $480 Snap-on any better than the $60 Husky? Let's find out. We'll see which ratchet offers the highest RPM. We'll test the ratchets for maximum torque. We'll see which brands can handle a constant load for 30 seconds. We'll test the total runtime and how long it takes to recharge the batteries. At a price of only $60, the least expensive brand we'll be testing is made by Husky. All the ratchets we'll be testing are 3/8" drive. Unlike the other brands, the Husky has a built-in battery, powered or manual operation, variable speed up to 230 RPM. We're going to test that. The Husky does have a very nice carrying case, made in China. Battery charger, definitely a very small and compact tool. It does have an LED light, but it's not very bright. Battery level indicator. It also has a trigger lock, which is very nice if you plan to store this tool in an area where it might get bumped. The Husky weighs 2 pounds, 2.5 ounces, 977 grams. 578 grams on the front of the tool, 484 on the back. The size of the ratchet head is a huge factor if working on modern cars. The Husky is very compact at 30.91 millimeters side to side and 33.89 from front to back. The sound meter is placed 24 inches from the tool. 83 decibels for the Husky. At a price of $90, the second least expensive brand we'll be testing is this Ryobi 1 Plus. 18 volt 3/8" ratchet kit. Up to 35 foot-pounds of torque. 4-position rotating head. Dual LEDs. 230 RPM. Made in China. Battery charger. Extension. 1.5 amp hour battery. I really like the rotating head. There's no battery level indicator with the Ryobi. It does have a trigger lock. The dual LED lights provide quite a bit of light. The Ryobi weighs 3 pounds, 2.8 ounces. 1,441 grams. 705 grams on the front of the tool, 822 on the back. The Ryobi is even more compact than the Husky at 29.75 millimeters side to side and 31.39 from front to back. At 77 decibels, the Ryobi makes quite a bit less noise than the Husky. The third least expensive brand we'll be testing is this ACDelco. Unlike the Husky and the Ryobi, which use brushed motors, the ACDelco uses a 12-volt brushless motor. Max torque, 65 foot-pounds. 0 to 220 RPM. The ACDelco is made in Taiwan. Battery charger, 2 amp hour battery. The Husky and the Ryobi use pedal-style triggers, but the ACDelco uses a button. Just like the Ryobi and the Husky, the ACDelco has a trigger lock. The ACDelco does not have a battery level indicator. The LED light on the ACDelco is not quite as bright as the Ryobi or the Husky. The ACDelco weighs 2 pounds, 13.9 ounces, 1,301 grams. The ACDelco is a very nice tool, but it's definitely not as balanced as some of the other brands at 843 grams on the front of the tool, 542 on the back. The ACDelco isn't nearly as compact as the Husky or the Ryobi at 40.38 millimeters side to side and 42.74 from front to back. The ACDelco is the loudest yet at 88 decibels. At a price of $183 is this Ingersoll Rand ratchet. 12 volts. Tool and battery made in Taiwan, charger made in China. Battery charger, 2 amp hour battery. This is a very compact wrench. Ingersoll Rand uses a brushed motor. Battery level indicator. Unlike the other brands, the Ingersoll Rand does not have a trigger lock. The LED light is definitely brighter than the ACDelco, but not quite as bright as a Ryobi. 2 pounds, 3.2 ounces, 998 grams. 484 grams on the front of the tool, 601 on the back. The Ingersoll Rand is the most compact tool yet at only 28.43 millimeters side to side, but not as compact as the Husky or the Ryobi from front to back at 35.6. At only 80 decibels, Ingersoll Rand is the second quietest tool. At a price of $249 is this Milwaukee M12 Fuel. Up to 55 foot-pounds of max torque, 200 RPM, made in China. Battery charger. The Milwaukee comes with 2 amp hour batteries. The LED light on the Milwaukee definitely seems like the best. The Milwaukee also has a trigger lock and a battery level indicator. 2 pounds, 13.4 ounces, 1,285 grams for the Milwaukee. 859 grams on the front of the tool, 512 on the back. At 40.03 millimeters side to side and 40.86 from front to back, the Milwaukee just isn't very compact. At 89 decibels, the Milwaukee is the loudest tool yet. And the most expensive brand we'll be testing at $482 is this Snap-on brand. 14.4 volt micro lithium cordless ratchet kit. 40 foot-pounds of maximum torque. 275 RPM. Designed and engineered by Snap-on, assembled in US with US and imported components. Battery charger, 2.5 amp hour batteries. The less expensive Milwaukee is brushless and the Snap-on uses a brushed motor. The Snap-on does not have a trigger lock. The Snap-on also doesn't have a battery level indicator. The LED light on the Snap-on is pretty bright. 2 pounds, 9 ounces, 1,163 grams. 707 grams on the front of the tool, 542 on the back. The Snap-on is more compact than the Milwaukee and the Ryobi from side to side at 32.59 millimeters, but it's the least compact tool from front to back at 45.04. The Snap-on is also pretty loud at 87 decibels. So the Husky is the lightest at 977 grams, Ingersoll Rand 998, Snap-on 1,163, Milwaukee 1,285, ACDelco 1,301, 1,401 and Ryobi 1,441. Tool balance is also something to consider, especially the weight on the anvil side of the tool if you're extending the tool to reach nuts and bolts. The Husky and the Ryobi are the most balanced, but the Ingersoll Rand is nearly as balanced. The ACDelco and the Milwaukee have much larger ratchet heads than the other brands. All of the batteries are fully charged. If you're working with delicate fasteners, low RPM control might be a factor. The Husky doesn't offer very good low RPM control at 147, but it does spin pretty fast at 419 max RPM. There's very good low RPM control with the Ryobi at 42 and the max 457. The ACDelco offers pretty good low RPM control at 48. 294 max RPM. The Ingersoll Rand offers the best low RPM control yet at only 14, 381 max RPM. The Milwaukee offers good low RPM control at 41, 321 max RPM. The Snap-on offers the second best low RPM control at only 25, 407 max RPM. From the time the trigger or the paddle is squeezed until the time the tool goes to work is called trigger delay. So let's do a side-by-side comparison with the Husky on the left and the Ryobi on the right. There's no procrastinating with the Ryobi, which is quite a bit faster than the Husky. The Ryobi also comes to a stop much faster. ACDelco is on the left and the Ryobi is on the right. Both tools are very quick off the line, but the ACDelco barely edges out the Ryobi. The ACDelco also comes to a stop faster than the Ryobi. ACDelco is on the left and Ingersoll Rand is on the right. Both tools are very fast off the line, but it's ACDelco for the win. ACDelco also came to a stop faster than the Ingersoll Rand. ACDelco is on the left and Milwaukee is on the right. I repeated this test several times and in every instance it appears to be a tie. Both tools also came to a stop at the same time, so the less expensive ACDelco will advance. ACDelco is on the left and the $482 Snap-on is on the right. And both tools are very quick off the line, but it's definitely ACDelco for the win. ACDelco also came to a stop faster than the Snap-on. To figure out the first to last rankings, I did quite a bit of side-by-side testing. And the ACDelco and the Milwaukee, both equipped with brushless motors, tied for first, Ryobi third, Snap-on fourth, Ingersoll Rand fifth, and the Husky sixth. Up next, let's see how quickly each tool can spin on 28 lug nuts. Tool productivity involves four main factors. First and foremost is the operator. If we factor that out, the three main things include how quickly a tool responds to the trigger or the paddle, how quickly the tool accelerates, and the tool's RPM. Let's test a Husky first. The Husky did well at 1 minute and 19 seconds. And the Ryobi moves into the lead at 1 minute and 13 seconds. And the ACDelco finishes in a distant third at 1 minute and 53 seconds. And the Ingersoll Rand moves into second place with 1 minute and 16 seconds. The Milwaukee finishes in 1 minute and 50 seconds. And the Snap-on finishes in 1 minute and 18 seconds. So the Ryobi was the fastest at 73 seconds, Ingersoll Rand 76, Snap-on 78, Husky 79, Milwaukee 110, and ACDelco 113 seconds. Let's do a quick side-by-side comparison just to see the speed difference. And the Ryobi wins the first match. Ryobi wins again. And it's 3 in a row for Ryobi. ACDelco is on the left and Ryobi is on the right. And the Ryobi is a lot faster on the first. Ryobi wins again. And it's 3 in a row for Ryobi. Ingersoll Rand is on the left and Ryobi is on the right. It was very close, but the Ryobi wins. It's 2 in a row for Ryobi. And it's very close again, but 3 wins in a row for Ryobi. Milwaukee is on the left and the Ryobi is on the right. And the Ryobi is quite a bit faster and easily wins the first. Ryobi wins again. And it's 3 in a row for Ryobi. The Snap-on is on the left and Ryobi is on the right. And it's extremely close, but Snap-on wins the first. It's very close again and Snap-on wins. And it's 3 in a row for Snap-on. I continue to pair up the Ratchets side by side and the Snap-on is the fastest, Ryobi second, Ingersoll Rand third, Husky fourth, Milwaukee fifth, and the ACDelco sixth. The purpose of this next test is to demonstrate the ability of the Ratchets to remove a nut from a bolt with a slightly rusted or damaged threads. We'll keep an eye on the green rope to count the total rotations in this 30-second test. The spark plug has been removed, but the engine brake is fully engaged and will be providing 7.2 foot-pounds of resistance. All of the batteries are fully charged, so let's test the Husky first. The The Husky really struggled with the 7.2 foot-pounds of resistance, stalling out several times, but it still managed to rotate the engine a total of 41 times. However, the electric motor was pretty hot by the end of the 30-second test. The 7.2 foot-pounds needed to spin over the engine really slowed down the Ryobi, but it never stalled out and rotated the engine a total of 53 times. The ACDelco, which has a much lower no-load speed, performed very well in this test, spinning the engine over 71 times. The plastic housing on the ACDelco was in the way, and I just couldn't capture an accurate temperature reading on the internal components. The Ingersoll Rand really struggled in this test and couldn't get up to speed. Fortunately, it survived this test, but only rotated the engine 12 times. It took a couple of tries to get the Milwaukee going, but once it was up to speed, it did the best yet at 76 rotations. The snap-on really struggled and never got up to speed. 14 rotations for the snap-on. The last test simulated rotating a fastener with mildly galled or rusty threads. This next test will allow each tool to get up to full speed first. As the lag bolt gets deeper into the railroad tie, the amount of resistance will keep increasing until the tool comes to a stop. Once the tool comes to a stop, I'll use the torque adapter with a breaker bar to turn the lag bolt about a quarter of a turn to measure the maximum working load for each tool, beginning with the Husky. .3 foot-pounds of torque for the Husky. Testing the Ryobi next. Ryobi moves into the lead with 23.1 foot-pounds. Testing the ACDelco next. And the ACDelco narrowly beats the Ryobi with 23.6 foot-pounds. Testing the Ingersoll Rand. And the Ingersoll Rand just didn't make very good progress before giving up at only 11.7 foot-pounds. Testing the Milwaukee fuel. And the Milwaukee did the best yet at 29.4 foot-pounds and takes the lead from ACDelco. Let's see if the snap-on can do even better. 22.1 foot-pounds for the snap-on. So the Milwaukee came out on top at 29.4, ACDelco 23.6, Ryobi 23.1, Snap-on 22.1, Husky 16.3, and Ingersoll Rand 11.7. In this next test, we'll find out if these ratchets can manually loosen really tight fasteners without causing damage. I'll first tighten all the lug nuts to 90 foot-pounds, and then we'll use a torque adapter to figure out the breakaway torque. The breakaway torque is 73.8 foot-pounds on the first nut, 74 on the second nut, which is quite a bit for a 3/8" ratchet to handle. The Husky has a short handle, but it held up just fine removing the nut. With the longer handle, the Ryobi offers quite a bit more leverage and didn't have a problem removing the lug nut. The ACDelco's handle is quite a bit longer, offering quite a bit more leverage. The ACDelco held up just fine. With the much shorter handle and a lot less leverage, it definitely took more effort, but the Ingersoll Rand held up just fine. The Milwaukee definitely seems built for this, and the long handle offered plenty of leverage. The Milwaukee held up just fine. The Snap-on held up just fine. The batteries are fully charged, so up next, let's see how long each tool will run without a load. It's been about 10 minutes since the test started, and the Husky is only at about 130 degrees Fahrenheit. The Ryobi is a little bit hotter at 150. The ACDelco is 160. Very close to 130 for the Ingersoll Rand, 145 for the Milwaukee, and the Snap-on is the hottest of all of them at 205. It's been a few minutes since comparing the temperatures of the tools, and the Snap-on is so hot that it's smoking. I'm hoping a couple of fans will help the Snap-on survive the test. The ACDelco is the first to run out of juice at 22 minutes and 19 seconds. And the Milwaukee is out of juice at 23 minutes and 15 seconds. So the two ratchets with the brushless motors are the first ones out of this event. The Snap-on is finished at just under 26 minutes. And the Ingersoll Rand gave up at 35 minutes and 50 seconds. And it's down to the 2 least expensive brands. And the Husky is finished at 42 minutes and 19 seconds. And the Ryobi lasted about a minute and a half longer than the Husky at 43 minutes and 43 seconds. So the Ryobi's battery lasted the longest at 43.8 minutes, Husky 42.3, Ingersoll Rand 35.8, Snap-on 26, Milwaukee 23.3, and ACDelco 22.2 minutes. In the next test, let's see how long it takes to charge the fully drained batteries. All of the brands use 2 amp hour batteries except for the Ryobi, which uses a 1.5 amp hour battery, and the Snap-on, which uses a 2.5. And the Milwaukee is the first one fully charged at approximately 39 minutes. The Ryobi was the second fully charged at 54, which is about 15 minutes longer than the Milwaukee. The Husky is the third to finish at 64 minutes and 30 seconds. The Snap-on just finished at 67 minutes. The Ingersoll Rand is fully charged at about 69.5 minutes. And the ACDelco is finally finished at 94 minutes, about 25 minutes longer than all the other brands. If you're looking for a really affordable tool for light duty use, it's really hard to argue against the Husky. For $60, it did a great job. I really like the Ryobi quite a bit. In my opinion, it did the best overall. If you need a tool that's designed for daily use and can handle a lot more torque load, I would definitely go with the Milwaukee. All the videos in this channel, including this one, are viewer suggested. So if you have a video idea, I hope you'll take time to leave a comment. Thanks so much for watching. Please take care, and I look forward to next time.